A very good morning to all of you. With immense joy and enthusiasm, I, Manjusha Pal, welcome you all to day second of this event. So, without further ado, let's begin. It's an absolute privilege to introduce our first speaker for today, Dr. Krushna Chandra Sahoo, sir, scientist, Department of Health Research, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. With extensive expertise in health technology assessment and evidence synthesis, he has played a crucial role in shaping research methodologies that derive informed healthcare decisions. Today, Dr. Sahu sir will guide us through an essential topic, systematic review of diagnostic accuracy studies. I would request to Sahu sir, please proceed with the session. Thank you.
Very good morning to everyone. I think yesterday we have a very fruitful session, and after that also nice Ghana and nice Khana, na? Then that's why today we have half an hour late, but we'll try to see that. So actually, uh, so this topic is that systematic review of diagnostic accuracy study. Before that, then I will have some preliminary discussion. Okay, so there is a restriction that I can't move, but I always prefer to move because of this. You know that science, policy, populations. So ultimately, what we are doing for the population health benefit. Science means there is lot of technology, lot of innovation, everything every day. Nowadays, every day you will be get new technology, new intervention things. But do you think that everything can you take for the population health benefit? Yes, it should be, but before that it should be go through proper policy. So HTA, since this workshop is related to HTA, I am linking how HTA and systematic review is useful. So HTA brings the evidence between the policy making and that. Suppose from science to practice we are taking. No, science to policy, then practice. So that's why we need strong evidence for the implementations. So when you come to about HTA, so any new technology, any new intervention comes, so there are certain things. As per the WHO, first thing you see the safety. Means any device, any technology that should be have a regulatory approval, they will check certain criteria. Then effectiveness and efficacy is very important. Appropriateness, implementation. So these are criteria. So now what we'll see that effectiveness and efficacy. So there, you know that often there is a confusion between this terminology, efficacy, effectiveness, and efficiency. So what is efficacy? It is, does it work in a clinical trial? Suppose you are doing a RCT in a controlled environment. So that is what result we say efficacy. Effectiveness is, does it work in a clinical practice when you are using a real world effectiveness data. So that's why many times we will work on efficacy data, may not we get the effectiveness data. Then efficiency when it come, does it contribute to more efficient use of resource? It again come on the more societal benefit perspective. So these are the type of evidence for the treatment interventions. Now when you do HTA, what type of data you need? So afternoon you have HTA session. So these are the cost data, epidemiological data, service utilization data, quality of life data. But most important data is that clinical effectiveness and safety. So today we will be discuss in this part. So here, what are the clinical effectiveness measure? One is the diagnostic accuracy. So we will be detailed discuss what is diagnostic accuracy with an example, then efficacy, effectiveness. So these are the key measure for the effectiveness and safety. So now, where will we get this data? What type of evidence? Usually randomized control trial, diagnostic accuracy study is the gold standard. If it is a technology, then we will say diagnostic accuracy. If is there any intervention, then we will be take the evidence from the RCT. If it is not available, we may consider observational study like cohort, case control, when RCT data is limited. Then otherwise we can consider also real world evidence like registry data, claim data, patient reported outcomes, that you can consider. But often you remember that that one is the gold standard, and when new technology, new intervention started, you know that always there is a limited evidence. So sometimes we have to consider this case also. So how you will be get this information? So you do systematic review, you do meta-analysis, you do grading also. Just now we discussed about if the evidence is available, it is very low quality, how to say that? So you can grade the information also. So now, so these are the things. Now come to the point that what is diagnostic accuracy. So diagnostic studies are crucial because they assess how well a test can distinguish between patient with disease and without disease. कोई आपको एक इंस्ट्रूमेंट दिया गया, इसमें डिजीज सही से डिटेक्ट हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है, डिजीज है कि नहीं है. सो दैट्स व्हाई that to know that diagnostic studies are very important. So it is very important to correctly identify the disease and proper treatment guideline treatment, and which is helpful for clinician, patient and healthcare providers. So for all of them it is very useful. So now let us see one example what is diagnostic. So everybody know that malaria. So what is the gold standard for malaria detection? Am I correct or not? Microscopy. So now we are using microscopy. Yes, we are using microscopy. But if you see field level, ground level, now ASA, community health worker, can test. ASA is using microscopy. No. What ASA is using? No, ASA is not clinical symptom. ASA, how ASA is detecting the malaria? There is a kit is there, RDT, rapid diagnostic kit is there. Okay, ASA is using and on the spot saying malaria positive or negative. So if there are rapid diagnostic kit, there are three type of rapid diagnostic kits. Now government of India want to implement one, which one is the best rapid diagnostic kit among all these three. So anyone can give a rough idea how we can do that, say that these three rapid diagnostic kit are all are useful for the malaria detection, and gold standard is microscopy, but microscopy is not often possible because microscopy is available in the institute facility, but malaria sometimes happen in a remote area, then it is very difficult to, you need laboratory, you need the technician, everything, but we can use. So with the advance of technology we have this all RDT. So how can I say that which one is best? How will test it? Anyone can answer? Any idea? No, that is true, but how will say that? So yes, sensitivity, specificity is the major. What I will do, I will compare the value of the all the tests with the gold standard. So I will do test in gold standard as well as this histidine HRP2 kit, also this. So each value I will be compare with the gold standard. Then I will see how much correct result is giving. Which one is giving more correct result, means more matching with the gold standard. That one is the best one. So that is diagnostic accuracy. Everybody is clear? So then these three kit I will be process. So now let us see this more technically. So why these diagnostic accuracy studies are important? It ensuring reliable diagnosis, help determining whether the test is accurately done or not. You know, if you introduce some kit, it is not diagnosed correctly, that is wrong. Okay, so it is ultimately improve the patient outcome because it is reduce the false positive and false negative also, and finally it comparing the diagnostic test. So this is very important when you introduce any new technology, then diagnostic accuracy value is essential. So this topic is not only essential for the medical science, this is also essential for the engineering student. Technology, who is designing this technology? Engineering students. So then when they came to us, then we need what type of data? So they only if you create the instrument or machine or device, it is not enough. Then you have to prove your machine is well enough to detect the disease correctly. Then you need a diagnostic validation study. So here there is an integration between the technician and the medical professionals. Okay, so now let us see this example. There are three aspects of diagnostic accuracy. One is the analytical validity. That means when I develop my machine in a control setting, I generated some data. Even if now any AI tool, so for the any AI based thing, diagnostic accuracy value is needed. So that is analytical things, methods, development, verification, accuracy during the development process. Then clinical validity. That means I will take to the real world, then I will be test in the field, then I will measure the clinical validity. Many times if you say the AI based technology, that is actually analytical validity, we don't have the clinical validity, but still we are considering. Then final stage is the clinical utility, patient outcome, modeling, cost effectiveness. So what we are for HTA inclusion, we are not only believe on the diagnostic value, we are doing a HTA analysis, cost effectiveness analysis. So everything is clinical utility, then it come for the policy decision. So now what are the measure? So already some of you say that sensitivity, specificity, positive predictive value, negative predictive value, positive likelihood ratio, negative likelihood ratio, diagnostic accuracy. So these are the measurement we are using. So most often we are using sensitivity and specificity. Now let us understand what is sensitivity and specificity. So suppose in the malaria case, if you imagine where the microscopy will be placed here, gold standard. Everybody is following me, no? So microscopy will be in the gold standard. Then other device are here. Now I am comparing. So that is called reference standard. This is the index test. Any new device, new technology, index test. So आप student है, आपका evaluation तो एक student नहीं करेगा ना? कौन करेगा? Teacher करेगा. Here teacher is the gold standard. Then each student paper is the index test. Okay, new intervention. So then you match it. So suppose gold standard बोल रहे, so when you are do any diagnostic accuracy study, so you have to do same test in a two device. One is in gold standard, another in the reference or index device. So what are the intervention device you are proposing? Then you compare the result, कितना सही दे रहे, ठीक है? So here suppose gold standard is giving positive and your device is giving positive, result सही है ना? ठीक है, ठीक है, that is called true positive. इसमें भी positive है, ideally positive होना चाहिए, हमारा जो new device है वो positive भी दे रहे, true positive. Then come to the another thing. So इसमें भी negative है, वो भी negative है, तो that is correctly then detecting. But there are two problem here. One is here false negative and false positive. Anyone can guess what is false negative? Anyone can guess from this diagram? Actually it is positive, it is giving negative. What is false negative? ठीक है, ये देखो. So false negative means test does not detect a condition when it is actually present. Actually disease is there, but your device is not detecting. Your device saying no disease, but gold standard बोल रहा है disease है. ये problem है ना? नहीं, क्या problem होगा? हाँ, कॉन्सिक्वेंस बढ़ेगा. नॉट इन मलेरिया, एनी केस यू से कॉन्सिक्वेंस बढ़ेगा, सिवियरिटी बढ़ेगा, पेशेंट तो खुश हो जाएगा, भाई मेरा डिजीज नहीं है, आई एम फ्री है, बट अंदर तो रियली डिजीज है, तो कॉन्सिक्वेंस होगा. और दूसरा क्या होगा? इफ इट इज इन्फेक्शियस डिजीज लाइक टीबी, spread also. So this is wrong. So accuracy is very important. And another side is see false positive. उसमें क्या है? टेस्ट डिटेक्ट ए कंडीशन व्हेन देयर इज नो कंडीशन. एक्चुअली कंडीशन नहीं है, बट टेस्ट डिटेक्ट कर दिया डिजीज है. सो व्हाट विल बी हैपन देन? आपका कुछ डिजीज नहीं है, आप टेस्ट करने के लिए वो बोला आपका डिजीज है. सो व्हाट विल बी हैपन देन? Is there any consequence? Unnecessary treatment होगा, then side effect, not only unnecessary treatment, और भी कुछ होगा. क्या होगा? मेंटल कंडीशन और आउट ऑफ पॉकेट एक्सपेंडिचर. सबके लिए तो एक्सपेंडिचर जाएगा ना, इधर पेशेंट बियर और हेल्थ सिस्टम बियर, कॉस्ट तो जा रहे हैं ना, ट्रीटमेंट हो रहा है, ट्रैवल कॉस्ट हो रहा है, ईच कॉस्ट. सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट to accurately detect. So based on that, sensitivity, specificity, positive predictive value, negative predictive value is calculation. So then when you do that, you need to do how many true positive is there, how many true negative is there, how many false positive is there, how many false negative is there. So you just apply the formula, then you will be get sensitivity, specificity. Is it clear? Because of short time I am running quickly, so we cannot, but if this is available in everywhere also, so this is the formula. Now see, this is the trade-off between sensitivity and specificity. You know that that is a criterion value, means what is the threshold. So if the that side is positive and this side is negative, criterion value. So and if all are positive, your specificity is 100%, here sensitivity is 100%, true negative and true positive, that is. Then remaining see Fn and Fv. So this is a graph. So based on this you can judge also positive. So when you are do any diagnostic accuracy study, based on this, then ROC curve is developed, nahi, receiver operating characteristics. So ROC curve is developed, so that will be helpful for the judgment, and you also see the sensitivity, specificity value. Now let us see that these are the some explanation. As in a Cochrane, they say what is true negative, what is true positive, what is false positive, false negative, what is reference, what is target condition, what is index. So these are the short definitions given. I am not going through all detail. Now sometimes where you will be get this value, sometimes see, when for the meta analysis, for systematic review, you need true positive, true negative, true value. But sometimes you know that in the paper they gave sensitivity and specificity, they not mention any true positive, some of the paper, not all. Then how will we get that? So there is a formula is there, no? So you know that always sensitivity is equal to true positive by true positive, false false negative, that is probability of correctly detecting the digits. Specificity is the true negative by true negative plus false positive, probability of correctly detecting the absence of digits. Then what are the steps to calculate the TP, NP, FP, Fn from the sensitivity, specificity? If the value is given directly in the paper, you can take it. If the value is not given, you have to calculate it manually. Okay, you have to calculate it, because for the system meta-analysis you need this TP, you don't need sensitivity, but from sensitivity you have to calculate. So the simple formula is that you need to do total population in the study, okay, prevalence of the disease, proportion of actual cases in that population, then sensitivity, specificity. So then what we will do, calculate the total positive and negative, that is actual positive, that is N, means total population into prevalence. Then actual negative means total population minus prevalence. Okay, so simple, we calculate this. Then once you calculate this, then you use this value, this formula, total positive is equal to that is actual positive into sensitivity. So use this value, then you will be get the number. Okay, now let us start small example. So now you say, you just calculate yourself, I have given the formula. So total population is given 1000, prevalence is 10%, sensitivity is 90% and specificity is 95%. Then now you calculate what is the true negative, true positive, this. So the formula is given besides. Now you calculate. Because some paper, you know, I am audible, some paper they only present sensitivity, specificity, total sample is there, but they don't mention any this NP, but you need this value. I will show you why it is important. Just quickly calculate. Got it? Okay. Okay. So now cross check. I'm not going to test you. So is it same, or I did mistake, or who did mistake? Just match your result. You know that, in the study this is given in the published paper, but we need this true negative, true positive, this value for the meta analysis, but we convert this, but at least this parameter as needed, prevalence, then total population, then you will be get this number. Everybody got it, no? Okay. Now let us the next steps. Then when ppb is given, npb is given, there is a formula also, you can you are also calculated using this sensitivity, so another formula is there. But now, why a systematic review on diagnostic accuracy study? Why you would do systematic review? Anyone can answer? Yesterday you learned systematic review. Why systematic review is needed in diagnostic accuracy? अभी तक मैं systematic review चालू नहीं किया. I just told about why diagnostic study is important. So tell why SR. Anyone? So because suppose that RDT test, they have diagnostic accuracy 5 studies. एक स्टडी में सेंसिटिविटी 90% दिखा रहे, अनदर स्टडी में 20% दिखा रहे, अनदर स्टडी में 80% दिखा रहे. Which one you will be consider for your inclusion? Which one? Best one. That is also wrong. So then you need a pooled value. Okay, don't take best one, don't reject, but you take a pooled value, then आपको pool मिल जाएगा. ठीक है? So that's why we need it, identify bias, and for cost effective analysis for HTA, this systematic review of diagnostic accuracy study is important. When there is a single study, no need to do that, at least 3-4 study, then you have to do pooled. So now let us, how you do it in a real time, we'll see. You can exclude that also. If it is below standard, you can exclude also. Yes. Or if you see, if you include that, then that definitely affect your result. You can exclude. If you include, it's no harm, but it will be affect the overall pooled sensitivity and specificity. If you found that the study sample size is wrong, calculation is wrong, means quality is not good, then you can exclude also with proper reason. Now let us see. Okay, how do SR in diagnostic accuracy study? So yesterday you learn all steps. I am not explaining. So all the diagnostic study, the follow same steps. So research question is needed. Yesterday you learn about research question. Yes or no? Search strategy, inclusion exclusion criteria, which database you will be include, then your protocol writing, then screening. So everything is same. There is nothing difference for the systematic review process in diagnostic accuracy study. You will follow everything up to full text screening, up to data extraction. Then when you extract the data, here yesterday you learn also how to extract the data. Here you need certain characteristics. So what exactly you need to do meta-analysis here? Already I explained. True negative, true positive, false positive, false negative, and n, total number. So once you get that value from each technology, from each study, if a single technology have 3 paper, 4 paper, then you can take it also, then you do meta analysis. Got my point? Otherwise quality appraisal, the tool is different but quality appraisal process is same. Quality, yesterday madam, so no, the for diagnostic accuracy study you take quadas tool. Okay, the tool is different, but process for the meta analysis is same. Okay, got this point now. Now let us see that some example. So let us just see this example. It is visible for backside. So here all are the study. Sorry, I will not go this side, no, as per the instruction of the camera. So here this is are the study. See, these many study are conducted. This is our author and year. These are the gold standard for hemoglobin. This is for non-invasive hemoglobin test. Okay. So these are the gold standards. You know, some cases they compare X with the Y. Means here all are gold standard is hemolytic analyzer. Okay, then they take, these are the technology, means these are the device or technology for the non-invasive hemoglobin testing. Smartphone based app, then hemospect, true HB. So these are the there. Then they give sensitivity and specificity value. Okay, so from this sensitivity specificity value, but what we need for the meta analysis, actually we need this section. What we need? N, TP, FP, FN, TN. If they give this value, are you able to calculate this true negative, true positive or not? Yes, you can try. If it is not possible, some given value is not there, then you may exclude that study, but for meta analysis that is essential. Okay, so so these are the parameter you need basically. Got everybody got that? When you need a data extraction of a diagnostic accuracy study, what you to need to extract, these are other parameter what have we could to taken, but these are the very major parameter. If you say all cases gold standard is same, you may exclude this curve, but these three are very important. If you say only one device is there, 5 studies, this may not be exist. Anyone have doubt in this slide? If I give a paper on the diagnostic accuracy study, are you able to extract the data? Okay, now let us see that because I am not in the laptop data, I can show you directly. But once we have this Excel sheet, you write, use the stata or whatever the software use, simple command you write, then you will be get this type of curve. Bhavna, can I move this? This could be moved this side. Is possible? ये move हो पाएगा इस side को? Oh, great. Okay. So anyone can see that what is this? Bhavani sir will be detail explain about this. I am just showing. So if I have software also, I mean laptop, I can show you directly how. So anyone can say what is this? Sir will be explain detail. This is called forest plot. You know. So forest plot. You know that these are the overall sensitivity of non-invasive is 0.71. Very sensitive. Overall sensitivity is 0.71 with a confidence interval given. Yesterday you learned about confidence interval, but now I want to do a subgroup analysis. I interested also each one ka kya hai, which one is best one to choose. So as a clinician for hemoglobin test in non-invasive way, so which one will choose, which device you will choose? One is smartphone based app, hemospect, true HB, massivo prompto, then massivo radical check is there. I just give some example because there are many things. When do IIT Delhi, it's a HTA topic systematic review conducted, I remove some of them because you can be see visible. So if as a clinician, which one you will choose? So each table I expected one answer. So these are the device. As a clinician for state proposing state government, which one you will choose? कुछ भी नहीं करना, चुप बैठना अच्छा है. हम खरीदी ही नहीं करना, चुपचाप बैठना. सारा नहीं नहीं, नॉट स्टडी, यू चूज दिस। मैसिवो प्रोंटो का सपोज 1 2 3 5 स्टडी है, इसका समरी रिजल्ट दिया है। डोंट चूज दैट दिस स्टडी वाइज, चूज ग्रुप वाइज। स्मार्टफोन बेस्ड आप हिमोस्पेक, ट्रू एचबी, मैसिवो प्रोंटो, so which one you will choose? But I am saying this is just for demonstration, this is not the correct. So you will choose massivo prompto. So your group, huh? Third one is touch hb, so why, let us say that why you choose massivo pronto, what is the reason behind it, huh? So भवानी सर आप बोलिए, वो मैसिवो प्रोंटो बोल रहे हैं, आप मैसिवो प्रोंटो खरीद करने के लिए सही है कि नहीं है? जजेस विल डिसाइडेड।
नहीं है, इसमें वन नहीं आ रहा, वही सिग्निफिकेंट है। तो देखो कौन सा सिग्निफिकेंट है इसमें, तो बीच वाले डंडे के या बाएं हैं या दाएं हैं, सिग्निफिकेंस देखो। डॉटेड लाइन के या तो
ये लाइन का थोड़ा next section we will be detailed discuss.
Each individual diamond, red color diamond, discuss more in that. These are subgroup related only. So for a smartphone based app, what is the full sensitivity? For smartphone based app, there are how many studies? Three studies. What is the full value? 0.80. Right? For the
Hemospec, two studies.
But full value is then for touch HB, full value is 0.70. So if you are going for a screening test, you want to have more sensitivity and
more specificity. That you have to clinically decide.
For a screening test. So among all this, which one is having maximum sensitivity? 0.87, right? And also 87 and 8, both are 87. So it means that those are having high sensitivity. Could be more useful for it.
But if you go for the specificity, see.
Then we are going one by one. Then look for specificity. Among specificity for first one, what is it? Started how much? Then for hemospec, it is the highest one. Maximum radical 96. So it is having highest specificity. So which one you want to compromise? You want to go with sensitivity, that means true positivity rate you want to have more, or you want to have false negativity rate with specificity you want to give more weightage? What is your?
अगर दोनों चाहिए तो क्या लेना है? एज चेक लेना। नहीं, you know, sometimes you will be get only one study that we are morning discussing, one study with not proper value. So that's why, you know, what we suggested, you know, that is a must need one integration between the clinician and the technologies. So BHU is a best place where you have medical as a IIT, and Manoj sir can do that. Sir is trying to integrate. Maybe next time the IIT students should join in the systematic review workshop, because they, what happened basically, what problem we are facing, we are designing the, suppose IIT people design the machine technology, but when that come, they got the approval also. When that come from HTA people, what they need? Diagnostic accuracy value, sensitivity, specificity. If the study don't have sensitivity, specificity, what we will do? You will be consider, you will be suggest for the policy maker to implement this. So when the technology they are developing, yes, they are putting huge effort on this, but they also need some clinical validity data for further implementation in the public health program or public procurement. So HTA need this value. Now those people who have your colleagues in the technology, then you can tell that you should also learn this.
So, I mean, just I'll compliment. I mean, in terms of what we will, what are all the different factors that will influence for our decision making, right? So, what for your, I mean, everything starts with why we are even doing this systematic review. For what purpose? So, whether it is purpose to just to summarize as an academic exercise, just to get a paper and get out of it, versus you want to make a decision. For again, decision means as a clinician, you are interested in treating your next patient, versus as a public health expert, like from I'm from NIE, like as a public health expert for the programmatic purpose where I need to implement it in a large scale. For each case, it depends. You need, like if you're treating for your individual patient, you don't want any false negative. I want to be more sure for treating my next patient, then you need to go for those tests with highest specificity. But if I am a population level, if I don't want to miss, I mean, I want to capture most of the positive tests, so that as a screening tool, again, whether it's a screening tool versus diagnostic tool, again, which one to prioritize, sensitivity versus specificity, again varies as a public health person. But as a policy maker, see what are all the implications, how much money I have in my budget, how many resources I have. See, even something may be like 99% sensitive and 99% specific, but it costs 1 lakh rupees. But another test which is 90% and 90%, which costs just 10 rupees per person, which one you go for? So you're kind of even compromising on sensitivity and specificity at the cost of, because so each and every decisions would be guided by the background factors. So it is not like, okay, I don't have a, like black and white answer for everything in these sort of situations. So it depends on which situation, when, how, where, to whom, in what context, what resources you have, and even what are quality of this evidence. Like something maybe everything is 99% maybe, but the quality is like poorly, I mean very poor. They just treat with 10 people, that too with very selected population. And if the quality of all the studies are poor, then you can even completely ignore that, calling that the certainty of evidence from those poor studies, even though it is maybe pooled, it is of no use. So it is not like direct, I mean gray or, I mean black or white. So I mean we need to kind of decide based on individual context wise.
Thank you, sir. So now, because of time, we will skip this, but you can learn in future more about this. Now that this is another way of judging this, that was sensitivity specificity value. Now you can judge more on the ROC curve. You know that they put it which one is more close to 1. Then you can see that also in graphically you can judge also. Maybe Geeta ma'am can add.
So what in this graph, what they have done is they have plotted the summary ROC. Just like we do an ROC for an individual study. Similarly, when we do a systematic review of several studies, then in that case, what we do is that we plot the summary ROC curve. Now, if the colors are slightly confusing, but what do we infer from this graph? Which one do you think is the best one? The close to 1 is the best one. So in this, assuming that the colors are very different, the blue one is the one which is closest to the value. So we take that as the best one, and that is what we are going to recommend.
Green one.
Whichever you can
Green or blue, whatever, there is something that is closest to 1, that is considered to be the best one.
point out this.
Okay. So this is just orientation. In half an hour you can learn everything, but you can integrate, you can do this type, and you just develop your critical thinking. When technology developed, what needed, who could support you, then you find the right people. Workshop is a best place to identify good people who could support you in future. Okay, so now move this because of this time. So sometimes what happen, no, let us consider about the hemoglobin. Okay, so you know that when you are doing hemoglobin, by directly testing you are saying it is anemic or non-anemic, or what you are using. Maybe I expected this answer from one clinician. Many clinician in this room. So hemoglobin test we did. So what will be give? It is given the anemic, non-anemic machine will be written, or some value it will be given. Value given. So that value we get, then value को हम category किया, अगर 10 से नीचे के ऊपर है, then we will have deciding the anemic or non-anemic, categorical. when you do sensitivity specificity, you must need a categorical value, because yes, no, okay, but I don't want anything. So you want to compare the hemoglobin का एक instrument 1 में instrument 2 में है कि नहीं है, then what you will do, then another test you will be perform, you will be compare. So a blood Altman plot you can do that also, otherwise you can see also what agreement is there. Suppose with gold standard, what is the agreement, it will be match, one by one match and give the kappa value. So what is the kappa value for agreement, okay, so that you can get also. Then so these are the things, but sometimes it is very difficult to generate the sensitivity specificity, but still we are also discussing, if we some study there is no sensitivity specificity is given, only this kappa or this concurrent agreement is given, how will be considered for HTA, what should be considered, so that we are also discussing. I am not going to more in depth. So what test statistics used, so is everything is related. You want to photo, ma'am? Okay, so sometimes what happen, all the things we compare with the gold standard, no, so sometimes assume that sometimes there is no gold standard, whom with whom we will compare. एक क्लास में कोई टीचर नहीं है, स्टूडेंट का सारा एग्जाम पेपर है, हम क्या करते, इवैल्यूएशन करते ना, नहीं कभी कभी जब प्रिपरेशन होता ना, आप बोलते ना ईच एंड एवरीवन, आप कोई टीचर बन के दूसरे का इवैल्यूएशन करते, आपस में डिस्कशन करते, क्योंकि टीचर तो एब्सेंस है. अगर गोल्ड स्टैंडर्ड नहीं है तो usually that should be a gold standard. Gold standard means it could be highest possible way to detect correctly, okay. So in that case, here there is a printing mistake, that the error is that absent, when gold standard is absent, it is not absent, it is absent. You can do a reference test, that reference test may be imperfect, but still you can compare this. No, how will do that, you can do conventional accuracy measure like sensitivity, specificity, these things, or you can do a latent class analysis, no, when no perfect gold standard is exist, or you can do a single standard, just a composite reference standard you can use, you can do a follow up thing also you can do, or you can ultimately agreement measure like what we saw in the kappa statistics or inter-class correlation, you can do that, it's possible, but always it is wise when gold standard is available with sensitivity specificity value, okay. So with this we can close, because we are running ahead the time. So at least 1-2 question we can take. Everybody is, I don't think that you can learn everything, but at least you aware and orient about what is diagnostic accuracy, why it is important, and how diagnostic accuracy study, systematic review is essential in the diagnostic accuracy studies. So anyone have any question? No? Okay, thank you. Next section we will learn more about meta-analysis. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to request Dr. Lalit sir to felicitate Dr. Sahu with a memento.
अच्छा वो हो रुक गया था ना ललित.
I would like to request Ms. Akita, please come on
Thank you.
stage.